Today we're going to be talking about a book called A Love Letter Life. This book is exactly what it says. It is written by Jeremy and Audrey Roloff, and it's following their love life in the way that they wrote it as letters. This book had gotten so many good reviews, and a lot of my friends had read this book, and they had told me that I should read it because, you know, I'm such a big reader and I'm always looking for something new to read, and this is kind of out of my comfort zone in reading, but I was like, hey, what the heck, let's try it. So to sum this up, I read this book in 3 days. I mean, I loved this book. It was a really good book. I think one of the best books I've ever read, with some super good advice, some of the most inspirational advice ever. Now, this story is just like any other love story. You fall in love, you break up, you get back together, and you get married in the ending, and it's all sunshine and rainbows. Now, this book is kind of like that. It just has a couple different tweaks and unique parts about it, and their love story that is different than anyone else's that they got to share with other people that might not have happened to some of us. The hardest part in their relationship was the long distance that they had. What I like so much about this book and what Audrey and Jeremy did was they tried not to be texting all the time, tried not to even call each other that much. They wrote letters all the time, which is like such a neat way to like express how much you love someone else, because you get to keep that and look back on it years later. Now, I'm only 15 and I'm not getting married anytime soon, so I don't have any stance to say in how much of the advice in here is good to take, but from what I read, I think it's great advice, and I would give it to anyone getting married, engaged, even dating. Like, this book has such great advice for anything that involves relationships. I think that my favorite thing about their relationship in this whole book is that they always kept God first. And keeping God first is one of the most important things you can do, not even in just relationships, but outside of your whole life. You always want to make sure you keep him first in front of everything and anything that you do. And that's what Audrey and Jeremy did. And it made the relationship super strong and super withstanding on the word of God, which was really amazing, and it was a super inspiring read. Now, I know love stories are always for girls and just those particular boys that just always have a thing for them, but I'm telling you, even if you're not one of those people that loves to read about relationships and how they all went down, this book is for anybody. Like, you can read it even if you're not even planning on finding someone someday and you're just gonna live in your house with dogs and cats. Like, it's just such a cool thing to read that impacts you even if you're not planning on using it in the future, if that makes sense. One more thing to add about this book is they're not perfect. No offense to Jeremy and Audrey, love you guys, but they're not perfect, and that's what also pulls this book together, is they made a lot of mistakes and they did a lot of things they shouldn't have done, but that helps them get stronger in their faith and stronger and closer to each other, and it helped them work out their differences on how they need to communicate further in the future. So it has so many good life lessons in this book, and it almost warns you of things not to do to avoid conflict in the future. I really just think that it goes to show that Audrey and Jeremy can show us how even if you're in a strong relationship and you are doing things the right way, no one's gonna do something the right way every single time. It teaches you, like they teach you, such a good lesson on patience, communication, waiting and hearing from God. All right, friends, if I were to rate this book, I would give it a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10. One of the best books I've read. It was really good. I really enjoyed reading this book. So I just wanted to shout Jeremy and Audrey out and say great job on your book. I really loved it and I liked it a lot, and every feedback that I've heard on this book from people that have read it, they all liked it so much. I just wanted to say great job. All right, my lovely friends, I hope you have an amazing week, and don't forget, Jesus loves you. The book we are reviewing today is called A Love Letter Life. This is the wrong, let me try that again.